Ah, so, for today, we will be discussing Mr. Aries from the... brought my notepad even though I'm not using a script. So the video is not scripted. It's all improvisation. Aries, from the 21st of March to the 19th of April, Aries is brave, aggressive, pushy, fearless, has a deep sense of justice, a natural born leader, and is independent. But can also be inconsistent, bad-tempered, selfish, and even self-centered. Aries is the ruling planet Sun, even though the Sun is a yellow dwarf star, and is not a planet, but regardless. Aries is a fire star sign element, and their ruling house is the first house, represented on this chart as being self-body, or self-embody. That's all you need to know. Aries is aggressive, smart, direct, perfectly justified, completely downright underrated. Just not as underrated as a few other signs that have been mentioned. Just changing the USB ports on this actually solar power bank. You know what? I think I have an idea as to what I'll make for the first year anniversary video. Aries is, as I've just listed, an aggressive and smart star sign, underrated, just like half of the star signs, underrated by the lower star signs, for example Gemini and Libra, but it's also quite self-centered, inconsistent, and a bit selfish. And can be pushy, but pushy is more of a subjective word, a subjective term. So Aries... I can give you an example. The famous British comedian Russell Howard is an Aries, as well as the creator of the Dragon Ball franchise, Akira Toriyama. So, a British comedian that's a complete beta male, and is basically a comedian version of the Fact Fiend, and the creator of Dragon Ball, or Dragon Ball Z, the entire Dragon Ball franchise. There's two examples you wouldn't really notice. Both kind of overly friendly, probably. Like more Russell Howard is far too carefree to be a real Aries. That makes me kind of confused. So, if you have... this video is disturbingly short, as I don't have much information about Aries apart from what I just read from the laptop. You should not buy a Panasonic. So, Aries is brave, aggressive, fearless, independent, direct, has a deep sense of justice, bad-tempered, and is a natural born leader. Aries is quite underrated. So, and they are the ruling house that is the first ruling house, meaning Aries is the first of the star signs in a circle, if that's how it is actually supposed to have worked, or how it's currently working as opposed to just have or has worked. Also, they are a fire sign, and the next one is a fire sign. If you already know all of your star signs by element, you would know the next following two videos. So, that's two videos coming up. I should probably add something. I did a bit of research into thorium as a thing to put in thorium in the process of nuclear fission. Instead of the world needing 25,000 metric tons of thorium, the world needs more like 300, 400 tons of thorium. And thorium has a density of like 11.5 grams per cubic centimetre. So that means a cubic kilometre contains 1,000 tons in the form of cubic meters, but multiplied by all the density, then all of that 1,000 cubic meters of thorium from a cubic kilometre mined is more like 11,500 metric tons. Meaning even if it is actually still 25,000 tons to fuel the world for an entire year, that's 2 cubic kilometres of land that needs to be mined as opposed to 25 cubic kilometres. I can take up a kilometre by 5 kilometre by 5 kilometre. Also, as the world needs more like 400 tons of thorium, then 11,500 tons of thorium divided by 400, the world could live for tens of years or hundreds of years, over 100 years probably, from a cubic kilometre that has been mined. So there's a bit of good news. However, I don't know if it's actually a bit of misinformation, because I'm actually pulling from several different sources, because the people that advocate the thorium vision are too stupid to grow up and actually put forward any actual information. So I'm actually pulling from the density of thorium, how much energy is in thorium according to several sources, how many metric tons are needed to power the world for an entire year, how much energy is actually needed for all 8 billion humans, assuming that is all 8 billion humans times 150 kilowatts per day period. So, if you have any opinion about Aries, put your opinion in the comment section down below. So please give me your opinion.